actually. According to me, that is a wrong approach. If you are a SD consultant, you may not be able to understand the accounting impact. You may not be able to know which GLs will be impacted. But that doesn't mean that you are not responsible for the complete order to cash. You are responsible for complete order to cash. So in some of the companies, see, we are not saying that it is exactly same as sales. These are the terminologies which are used in the industries. Okay, so instead of telling this is my SAP SD team, they will say this is my SAP O2C team. Okay, although this consists of some integration with FI, but still O2C responsibility is with this sales team. Right, so just to answer your question, you are also 100% correct, and others are also 100% correct. When it sales is nothing but O2C, that is also fine. And if you are saying that no, out of OTC, there are some parts which are belonging to FI, in that way, you are also correct. But ultimately, I will prefer to go with this way. The reason being, I don't want to be a independent SD consultant by setting the boundaries that this is my boundary and out of this is my part. If you want to become a good consultant, you need to understand all the integrations with your module. Okay, so you should not restrict that in SD, I know up to delivery, but when it comes to billing, that is FI part. No, it is still the part of the sales cycle. So you need to understand that complete sales cycle. Okay, I'm not just telling to you, I'm just telling you that this should be the behavior whenever we are working on the projects.
So completely agreed. One last question. If as part of this training, if my second this thing option or the second module, if I've picked say SD as my module, second module, would I get to understand the end-to-end life cycle of a sales order into shipping, pricing, in account billing, collections, and cash application?
Right.
Or
So
would
your primary module is FICO, right? And you want to go for SD.
Yeah, no, I'm just that's what I'm trying to clarify, because I wanted to specialize in order to cash. So if I pick order to cash, would I understand the end-to-end life cycle of order to cash across SD and FICO?
Definitely. See, FICO is not only for O2C. FICO has a lot of other things like general ledger accounting, UGL accounting. There are a lot of other things. So here you will be able to understand end-to-end a FICO. Okay, but in addition to this, if you are saying that I want to understand the complete O2C cycles, starting from the quotation to the order to the, so many times this is also called as Q2C, quotation to order. Okay, so this definitely this SD will cover all those shippings and all. So ultimately, at the end of sales, you will be able to understand the complete sales cycle. At the end of the sourcing and procurement, you will be able to understand the complete sourcing and procurement cycle.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now what we will do is, as I told you, if you just think about this in theoretical way, it is not going to help. We have to take a project. We have to understand. We have to take a dummy example of a project, and we have to think in that direction. So let's assume any suggestions which company you want to take as a dummy project. Any global company?
We can take Walmart.
Okay, let's take
Let's
Walmart.
have our own name.
Sorry?
Let's have our own name. Gaurav Consulting or
No, that
Gaurav
is
Industries.
that is all. So let's take a good example. Walmart, Amazon, these are the very favorite examples that most of the
Okay, that means you are planning to take FMCG, is it? Like,
yeah,
or like
it
car
can,
industry, anything is fine, isn't it?
yeah. Walmart is better. Amazon, Walmart, these are better examples because when you are learning PP, in that case, Walmart may not help. Okay, you need a production manufacturing company, but when it comes to purchasing, selling, and finance, I think these are the best examples.
Okay.
And Vikram,
Okay.
we will take like 2 or 3 company codes so that we can do group company code concept and inter-company code concept and that all.
Yeah, definitely. So that is exactly what we need to do currently in the explore. Let's assume we are in the explore phase today, and we have a customer Walmart, and he has invited us and told us, okay, I want to implement SAP. How should I proceed further? Okay, so what are the questions that you will ask him? And based on that, what exactly you will do in the explore phase. And once your explore phase is completed, how you will go to the actual configuration in the realization phase. But again, the thing is, we will not be working throughout the project lifecycle. I'll give you the example. We will not work like, okay, for FI, what are the different things we need? We will not do the explore phase completion and then the realization phase. Rather, what are we going to do is, within the FI, there are different components. Within the SD, there are different components. So we will understand one component, we will configure. Then we'll go to the second component. Then we understand second component, then again we will do the realization. So normally in the project, how it works is, you understand the end-to-end business, you create a document, and then once your all the explore phase is completed, then you normally go to the realization phase. Okay, but in this course, if you follow the same thing, what will happen is, because many of you are completely new to SAP, so if I take another maybe 5-6 sessions just to understand the theoretical knowledge, that may not help. So what we need to do is some theory and then do the practical. Again, you do some theory, then you do the practical. At the end, maybe we will understand whatever we have achieved. So what we have done in the explore phase, and ultimately whatever we have done in the realization phase. So we have to go step by step rather than going big bang. Okay, so let's assume this Walmart. Okay, this is now explore phase. Let's assume we are having a customer meet. We are discussing with the customer and we understood what are the different requirements. So the first thing is, we will ask the Walmart, how many legal entities do they have? Okay, so some of the important questions I'm writing here, although this is not a comprehensive list, for each and every module, we will be discussing the comprehensive list. Today, let me give what exactly we are doing today, so you'll get an idea. Today, we are discussing the enterprise structure. Okay, today our idea is to understand the enterprise structure. So at this moment, many of you must not be knowing what exactly is the enterprise structure, but at the end of today's session, you should be clear with the different elements in the enterprise structure. Okay, we will talk about that in detail. So for Walmart, if I want to set up the enterprise structure, there are some important questions that I need to ask. So I need to ask some questions from the FI point of view. I need to ask some questions from the SD point of view. So definitely, again, whenever you are working on the project, there will be a separate SD consultant, maybe the team of SD consultant, not even a single. There can be 5 to 6 SD consultants for this kind of project. There can be 5 to 6 consultants who are taking the requirements, who are working on the explore phase. Similarly, there will be another team of 5 to 6 consultants who are working from the MM point of view in the explore phase. Okay, so that totally depends upon how big is a customer, how many consultants are required. But these are the important questions that we need to understand in the explore phase. So how many legal entities? Okay, and in which countries? I'm just writing some of the questions, then we will discuss in detail. So number one, I need to ask them how many legal entities do they have and in which countries these legal entities are. I need to ask him the fiscal year, financial year followed by each legal entity and at the group level. Okay, this is the second question that I'll ask. Third question maybe I'll ask is how many plants, or you can say how many locations. We'll talk about this also in detail. Purchasing structure. When I say purchasing structure, I mean how many purchasing departments they have. Within the purchasing department, how many different teams they have. Okay, so that is whether I need a separate purchasing department for purchasing the materials and purchasing the services, or I have a common purchasing department throughout the world who is responsible for purchasing. So purchasing structure. Okay, definitely from sales point of view, you will ask them sales structure. So how many sales channels do they have? Sales channel means you can say, okay, our company is selling, we have the stores, we can sell online, we are also providing the, you can also order from the application, mobile application. So these are the different ways in which we sell the products. At the same time, how many stores do they have? Okay, because those stores are also considered to be as the sales channels, because whenever you are doing any sales, you need to tell the system that this sales has been done from this particular store, right? So that is a sales structure. So these are at the high level. In tomorrow's session, starting from tomorrow, we are going to bifurcate this batch. So sales guys will only go for the sales related discussion. Purchasing guys will be only discussing the purchasing structure in detail, and FI guys will be discussing the FI, that is legal entities and all in detail. Okay, so today I want to give you the complete picture. I'm not going to discuss everything in detail today. I'm just giving you the overall picture at the enterprise structure level, how exactly it will look like. Okay, so these are the few questions based on which our enterprise structure would be decided. So our target is at the end of tomorrow, we should be having the high level enterprise structure where we know how many legal entities do we need to create. For each and every legal entity, what would be the financial year that they will follow? How many plants need to be created? Okay, based on the purchasing structure, we will decide how many purchasing organizations, purchasing groups need to be created. Based on the sales structure, we will decide how many sales organizations, divisions, distribution channels, sales offices, sales groups. So these are all SAP terminologies that I'm using. So if you don't know these terminologies, no problem at this stage. At the end of tomorrow's session, you will get a clear idea of all these new terminologies that I'm introducing. Okay. So these are the important things that we need to ask our customer. And what we need to do is, let me tell you how exactly the enterprise structure works in SAP. So SAP enterprise structure. Okay, so first of all, what is the minimum number of systems that we need? What is the minimum number of, if you remember, I told you in our SAP landscape, what is the minimum number of systems that we need?
3.
3.
3. What are those? What is number 1? What is number 2? What is number 3?
Dev, queue, and prod.
Okay, so one is development, second is quality, and third one is production system. Okay, perfectly fine. Then if you remember, I told you that in addition to, within the development, quality, and production, let's assume in the development system, this is where we do the configuration. As a functional consultant, we perform all our developments here. Once our development is done, we perform the testing. And once we are 100% sure that yes, this is what exactly customer has asked us to develop, we move it to the quality. In the quality system, user will perform the testing. He will do the end-to-end testing and he will provide his feedback. If he is not happy with whatever we have done, he will send that back. Okay, send that back means he will tell us to make the changes again in the development. We again will do the developments here, move the changes again to quality. So till the time customer is not happy, customer has not accepted that whatever you have done is correct, we will not move it to the production. Once the customer has given the go ahead that yes, whatever you have developed is meeting my business requirements, then we will move this from quality to the production system. Okay, production system is my system which is being used on day-to-day basis, which is being used by the users to perform the actual transactions. This is very critical. We, as a functional consultant, we should not